Hey guys, you got Gypsy and we are back here today with week 2 of the BBL, and this week we're going to be facing off against Bill Standish. Before we get into the match, we are obviously here on Showdown once again. We did try to play on Wi-Fi, but unfortunately my opponent had issues connecting to the server or something, so for a second week in a row we will be playing on Showdown, but next week for week 3 I'm pretty certain we're going to be playing on Wi-Fi, so hopefully we'll be able to get a Wi-Fi game up on the channel. But we did try and attempt to play on Wi-Fi, and Aaron2420 was able to gem my team, so shout outs to him for helping me with that, and for also passing me the clean graphics for this week, just like he did last week, so I really appreciate that. But we're here versus Bill. I attempted to do a team building video before this, recording this, but Camtasia just crashed and did not save the audio, and I unfortunately don't have the time to re-record it, so I wanted to do it because one of my subscribers left a nice comment asking for team builders, but it's not something I tend to do during the regular season just because I don't have a lot of time. I'm in a ton of leagues at the moment and I've got a lot of stuff going on in real life, but once playoffs come I will definitely be doing team builders for that, so you can look forward to that. I know some of you guys do want to see that, but it's just a bit too much unfortunately at the moment. But we're here versus Bill, and I'll obviously run over the team we have. So we've got Lifeform Weavile, really nice check to stuff like his Dragonauts Ments, his Whimsicott, and his Necrozma. I am actually knockoff and punishment on this set, so he also did have the potential of bringing Manaphy on his team, which could be a pretty big threat, especially if it's like Calm Mind, like maybe even like Dual Dance Manaphy. I am punishment, so that stacks up versus all the boosts he can accumulate and does huge damage to that. I'm Life Orb, so I'm doing a ton of damage. Low kick for stuff like Mega Lucario, and he does have Mega Lucario, which is a crazy mon and really difficult to prep for. One of the best mons I think allowed in this league, so it's definitely going to be fun to face. But yeah, Weavile's looking like a nice mon here. Then we have Dual Dance, Dual Stab Magina with the Z Fairy, so Double Dance with Fluor Cannon is just going to run through his team. He has no check to Magina, like absolutely nothing. His check is Porygon 2. This is probably the best matchup Magina is going to have all season, I'd say. Like even better than last week. This thing is just going to go crazy. I mean, my week 1 opponent had a pretty good matchup actually. He had like Jirachi and Broken Pachirisu, so this is definitely a better matchup for gear. So then we have an Ockerberry Ferrothorn. I'm Anticipation again this week. It allows me to scout coverage on his Ments, which is going to help me determine whether or not he's physical or special. Just because he's not carrying Fire Fang. If he's physical here, he's carrying like Dragon Dance Roost, Z Fly, and Outrage or something like that. Or like Earthquake or something like that. I don't think he could be like Z Fire Fang maybe for Mage, but I don't really see it. But yeah, it's nice to give me information on like his Porygon 2 and his Lantern and his Whimsicott and all the rest. He also had a Manaphy, so he could be potentially running Hidden Power Fire on that, and Anticipation would tip me off. I'm Ockerberry, so I'm always a pretty solid response to his Manaphy. And then I have an Assault Vest Ho-Oh, really nice mon here. I'm able to take on stuff like Special Lucario with ease. I chew hits from Lantern and I can 2-KO it with Earthquake. Really nice for his potential special Ments. I know a lot of these guys love to run special Ments, and it's also really useful for his Necrozma. Obviously I got a Fierce Stone Edge, but I've got scouts, I've got ways of pivoting around and determining whether or not he's got Stone Edge on that. So then I have a Scarf Lando, which also helps me pivot into Mega Lucario, helps buffer his attacks and kind of scout whether he's Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, or Shadow Ball or anything like that. I'm really bulky on this Lando too, so I can sort of soft check his Salamence, which can really be useful for me. It's also another check to his Manaphy, because he wasn't Z Manaphy. I can always outspeed that thing and get an Earthquake off if I needed to, but he didn't choose to bring it. If I can remove Ments, then he has no EQ immunity, which could be really nice for the late game. And then lastly, I have a Calm Mind Mega Bro, which if played right, I can actually win the game, because I am Rest on this set, so I can avoid Toxics from stuff like Porygon 2 or his Lantern. So that is going to be the team. We are going to lead off with my Ferro here, as he does lead off with his Ments, and Ferro is going to Shatter in Anticipation, revealing that he does have Fire coverage. So this turn I am going to go out into my Slowbro, as he does reveal the Fire Blast there, so really nice. Glad I didn't stay in and set up Rocks, another perk of having obviously Anticipation on Ferro. So I'm going to go into my Bro here, and the fact that he went for Fire Blast means that he could have Z Draco, so I'm going to make the pivot out into my Ho-Oh to scout for that, as he just goes into his Lucario, which is a kind of an interesting switch in on Mega Slowbro, but he does reveal to be a Dark Pulse set later on in the game, so this turn I'm going to switch into Lando to scout his potential Stone Edge here, as he does actually make the play of clicking Dark Pulse that turn. So kind of, I guess Bill expected me to go back into Slowbro here, so he's gonna go into Lucario on my Slowbro as I go into my Ho-Oh, and I think right here he expected me to go back into my Slowbro, but I'm gonna go into Lando, which covers any play he go for, bar even an Ice Punch. Actually, I'm obviously out of range of an Ice Punch at full health, and he's gonna go for Dark Pulse. Yeah, he goes for Dark Pulse expecting my bro to come back in, but I go into my Lando and I'm just gonna U-turn out here, as he does go into his Ments, and he revealed to actually be max special attack with that Dark Pulse, so that's good to know. I'm going to go back out into my Ho-Oh here, and I'm going to bait the potential Stone Edge coverage on Ments, and I'm going to go back into my Ferrothorn, which also covered him going into Lantern, so I'm making some really strong mid-grounds that are working out for me here, and it's giving me pretty vital information on the coverage that his team members have. So the fact that he switched out Ments twice on Ho-Oh now leads me to believe that he probably doesn't have Edge, but I'm still going to play like he might, because he might just be playing this like a Don and preserving the Edge for a time that he needs it. So I'm going to get my rocks up here as he goes into his Ments. He doesn't have a rocker outside of Necrozma, and if he does have rocks on that, then I can always defog with Lando later. So with all the switching that's going on, it's good for me to be able to punish that with having rocks up. So here I'm going to go back out into my bro, as he actually reveals defog on his Ments. So he's probably not rocks on his Necrozma. As I'm going to go into my Ho here on his Porygon, as he still hadn't shown Z Draco yet, and I knew he was max special attack based on the Fire Blast damage, so he could have popped it there. And it was a roll actually to take out my Slowbro, because he was probably modest. So I'm going to go back into my Ho as this turn he goes into his P2, and I do want to catch a Toxic on this, so I'm going to go back into my Furrow here. So he just goes for Charge Beam, and he's going to reveal Charge Beam. He's actually going to sub up here as I click Leech Seed this turn. So interesting P2 set. So I'm going to go hard out to my Mage. I know he's probably going to be Roost, so he's sub Charge Beam, and I obviously don't want to let this thing get out of control, so I'm going to go into my Meginna here and click Calm Mind, as he doesn't get the second Charge Beam, but he does get the third. And right here I'm going to click Calm Mind. I need to break the sub, and whilst having boosts high enough to take him out with the Z Fluid Cannon. So he's going to click Flash Cannon again. I'm going to click Flash Cannon to break his sub, as this turn I do just shift gear on the off chance that he wanted to sub up or recover. And this puts Meginna in a pretty solid spot to sweep. I'm going to click Calm Mind once again, as his Charge Beams are kind of bouncing off, as he does reveal Ice Beam, and he actually crits me with Ice Beam, which like a plus, that's +3, and it's a crit, so it negates my speed effort, and only did 36, so Meginna is ridiculously fat. So right here I'm going to pop the Z. Unfortunately he crit me, so we are in range of Bullet Punch if he has it on his Mega Lucario, but he doesn't go into it right yet. He doesn't go into it at the moment. He goes out into his Lantern here and just dies to the Fluid Cannon, and that's a Ho-Oh check out of the way. So he's now going to go into his Necrozma here, and he's going to sack another one to Fluid Cannon, but we are getting the special attack boost because of Soul Heart. And this turn, he's going to go into his Whimsicott, and he clicks Stun Spore here. I'm like, alright, so maybe Gear's sweep will be cut short, maybe he'll only claim 4 lives, but I'm going to go for the Flash Cannon here, and this man dodges the Flash Cannon, so he's Bright Powder, Whimsicott, and it actually came through for him, so that's pretty funny. And there's definitely some heat on Bill's end, but I'm going to go out to my Ho here and just take on this Whimsicott here, as he does reveal sub, as I Flame Charge up, and I think he's gonna sub down until he gets to about like 1%, I think. And I kind of thought he'd be Endeavor, like sort of the way he was playing it made me think, oh, okay, maybe he's Endeavor and he's trying to weaken me down for his Ments or his Lucario to put in work, but yeah, he ends up just going for the Leech Seed here, so I guess he wasn't Endeavor, maybe he was Memento or something like that, or he had an attack on there, so Ho is going to take out the Whimsicott, and now he's going to bring back out his Ments, and this turn I'm going to go back into my Slowbro, as he does just go for the Fire Blast and miss. And now I'm going to go back into my Ho. Like, I know this guy's got Z Draco, and I know he's been saving it up, and he's going to fire it off here. And it's only going to do like 31 to Ho, so that's kind of crazy. As now I'm going to go back out. No, I stay in here with, I think this turn, now that he popped the Z, I knew, like he'd shown his coverage, I knew that he didn't have, he didn't have Stonish because he had Roost, Draco, Defog, and Fire Blast there. So I'm going to stay in with Ho. And this turn he clicks Dark Pulse, and he is going to get taken out by my Sacred Fire, as his Mence is going to come back in. And I think this turn I do stay into Tua Draco, because this means that now Slowbro can set up on this Mence, and I don't have to worry about this thing being crit because I do have Shell Armor, as I does just go for the Fire Blast there. And I'm going to Mega Evolve to avoid any crits, as his Draco is going to bounce off at -2. We're going to get up a Calm Mind, and yeah, Mega Bro is going to wrap this game up. So this was a fun game, obviously not very fun for Bill, but he said he enjoyed it. I think he just had a really rough matchup versus a beginner, honestly. I think gear, like the set I brought and the way I played it, it just ran through his team. Don't really know how else he could have maybe brought like Psych Up, Porygon 2 or something like that to try and check it. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of tough for him. I think he had to play more aggressively with his Lucario. Maybe get his Lucario in the turn I press Calm Mind versus his Porygon or something like that. But it was pretty tough for him, for sure. But yeah, that's going to be week 2 of the BBL. Next week we face off against D Wiley or D Willy, and he has a Mars Shadow, so that's going to be a fun one. That's definitely going to be a fun one. But that's going to be from me. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys thought of week 2 of the BBL. Mega Road putting in work. It's a fun mon so far. I've enjoyed building with it. So that's going to be it from me. I'll catch you guys next time.